Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today we're bringing you another gameplay of Aeon Trespass. We're in Cycle 1, Truth of the Labyrinth. There will be some early cycle spoilers, so we'll be going through rounds, rounds 2 through 7 of this cycle. So very early on, nothing too deep into the cycle. Basically what we're going to be doing is starting right after the first battle, in which I fought the Hecaton again. That's not really a spoiler. And then we're going to go from the end of that battle all the way up to my next battle, where I'm going to fight the I can never say this name. The Labyrinthorus. So those are the two main primordials that you fight during Cycle 1. Obviously, it culminates in a fight with an adversary, which is one of the really big primordials. But before we get down to the table and start the adventure phase, I want to mention our sponsor, StoneValleyGames.com. Go over to StoneValleyGames.com. They've got a great thing going on over there. It's run by Eric and Wendy. Eric spent time in the military. I say spent time, that's putting it lightly. He was in the Army for 25 plus years. And because of that, he likes to give back to people who are currently serving. If you are currently overseas with an AA, AE, or AP address, he will ship to you for free. So go check it out. Not only that, if you are currently living in the continental United States, you can, and you place an order for over $100, they will ship to you for free as well. And they have a loyalty program for returning customers. So much great stuff going on over at StoneValleyGames.com. They actually have Aeon Trespass, last I checked. There's a link for that in the description below. So go check them out, see what's going on over there. Stone Valley Games is your friendly, distant game store. Okay, so to give you an idea of where we're at right now with what's happening in the world. Okay, so we're down to 6. We had at one point 9 right here, 9 Titans. We're down to 6. In our fight with the level 1 Hecaton, we lost 3 Titans, so that's not great. Our Argo knowledge is 1. That comes from what's called your inward Odyssey, and I'm only going to show you cards if it becomes necessary. That way we're minimizing the spoilers in this video. So I'm not going to show you the Inward Odyssey card or any of the text on it. I'll leave that for you to discover unless it becomes relevant. We do have one of our Dreamwalker Titans is named due to it gaining this Iepiton strain, and what it does is it allows me to use this reflex during one of the, what's it called? It's not called a flow. That's Kingdom Death. During one of the reactions, I can gain 2 fate and tap this card, and then I will reflex, which allows me to move 1 space. So kind of move out of the way of whatever the Titan's trying to do to me. Gaining that 2 fate is pretty expensive, but could be a lot better than gaining whatever the Titans, or whatever I keep calling the Titans. A lot of times you'll hear me refer to primordials as Titans, but that's because I watched too much Attack on Titan, and so now the bad guys are always Titans in my head. But this will let me get out of the way of what the primordial is trying to do to my Titan. And the mini that is Aaron is the Herodotus mini, so this is the one that has that special upgrade, and we definitely want to keep him alive because that will that actually does go away. Strain card goes away if the Titan dies, whereas most of the other stuff is associated directly with your Argonauts. So we have some new gear. So Herodotus, who is piloted by Penelope, has a Shipwrecker shield, which can be used as a weapon. I primarily use this for defense, because if you use it for defense, if you get a crit evade, you get to place 2 opening tokens in the Kratos pool, and this allows you to re-roll 2 D10s. And then he has the boat mace, which is his primary weapon. He only rolls 1 die, which isn't great, but it is +2 on the precision. And when he hits with it, he then gets to roll 2 power dice instead of just 1. and it has break 1, which allows him to add a break token to the Kratos pool. He also has Siren Panoply Armor. So the way armor works is you get to roll this die to reduce the amount of danger that you gain from getting hit by the Primordials. And we have Reinforce 1, which allows us to spend Fate to add an additional red die to try to block some of that danger. All right, then we've got Philo here, who has a Shipwrecker Shield, which we've already discussed. That's the only item that she's got, the only gear that she's got, and she's piloted by Olympia. Then we've got Solone over here, piloted by Raz, who has the Sail Spolas, which provides +1 courage, which is great because Raz has 1 courage already, so kind of doubling up on that. And then we can spend 1 fate, and they say discard, but in this game what discard means is you just turn it over basically, or you can't use it for the rest of this battle. But anyway, to get second chance, and second chance allows me, if I draw a trauma card that is, I don't want it, I could do this, gain 1 fate and discard it to then draw another trauma card. I do have to take whatever the second one is, but for the most part, I'll probably only use that if the trauma card is going to kill me. And then she also has, I'm going to go by what the Titan is. So he also has Kratos Copies, which rolls 2 d10s and has +1 precision, 1 red die for the power dice. Carving 1 means when they wound, I can roll a d10. If I get 8, or technically I'm doing a wisdom check, and if I get 8+, which they don't have any inherent wisdom, so I have to get an 8 or better, then we go ahead and carve off a piece of that Titan and take whatever resource that wound would normally provide, and then sacrifice. During the first ability window, you may gain 1 danger to place 1 break token in the Kratos pool. So that is a way to provide break tokens to themselves, basically. And then we've got Ulyssia, piloted by Telebacus, who has the Siren Teeth, roll 3 dice, no additional precision, but that's a lot of dice we're rolling there. 1 power die for each hit, and then we have opening 1, which means that 1 additional the Siren Teeth themselves put 1 opening token in the Kratos pool, and reposition 2 allows Ulyssia to move 2 spaces. I can't remember if that's only after a hit or if it's just in general. Let's see. Reposition. During the second ability window, you may move up to X spaces. So just as long as that's my active weapon, which in this case is the only weapon that she's got, that will be, she'll be able to move. Okay, but none of that really matters until we actually get into another fight, which we've got quite a bit of time to cover before we do that. Okay, so here's where the Argo is right now. We recently visited Knossos. That's where you start in Cycle 1. And so that's the recently visited city token, which can be important for various reasons. My thoughts are I'm going to just keep circling this island and discover what's going on here, and kind of see, because we're looking for the missing king, basically, is the current kind of mission that we're going on. If we can find the missing king of Knossos here, then they're going to open up their vaults to us, basically, and really help us build out what we've got going on, like our armaments and all that kind of stuff. I, by the way, would highly recommend printing out this round summary so that you're not having to constantly flip in the book. This is over on Board Game Geek. Somebody put this up. I will, if I can remember, I'll put a link to this in the description below as well. So the first thing we have to do is the movement step. So we're going to move the Argo to a different adjacent map tile. And we're going to, like I said, keep going this way. So number 33. Okay, so let's see. There's a few things going on here we got to take a look at. So we've got this Doom icon. So when the Doom step comes along, we're going to have to add Doom. This bull down here means that we're still in the territory of Minos, so which we expected because we're still around the same island here. This is a city, though doesn't appear to be named, but it is a city, and that looks to be everything on here. All right, so next up is the timeline step, which is where we will simply advance the timeline. Now, this icon here means that we'll be able to research a combat technology when we get to the right step. So now we've got the exploration step. We have to resolve any exploration symbols. So this is where the Doom token is going to come into play. And so we actually have this Doom card is what we're currently working with. You can see if you want to read this right here, you can. But basically, as far as the rules go, when an Argonaut gains the Maze Touch Affliction, place 1 Doom token on the card. So that's something you have to watch out for in the... Oh, you know what? I did that in that last combat. You see, that's once per campaign. So we have to have an extra... Oops, not 5. A Doom token on here, so actually I gotta get a 4th one in a second. But gaining Doom makes your journey harder and brings it closer to a gruesome end. Each time you gain Doom, you must place 1 token on your current Doom card. Where there are 5 or more tokens on this card, flip it to side 1B, and then the excess tokens are placed on 1B. So yeah, we're getting close to that already. So there's our 4th Doom token. So now we have to perform an exploration draw. So we have this exploration deck, and this changes as the game goes on. But basically we're going to draw 2 stacks worth of exploration cards, and you'll see what that means here in a second. So we'll start the first stack. All right, so here, this right here means that's the end of the stack. So that's stack number 1. And then let's start with the next one. Okay, this is our second stack. We get to keep going. Oh, that's an adversary symbol, so that's not great. So let's see what happens here. So first off, we have to resolve each of these cards from top to bottom one at a time. All right, so we gain 2 trireme resources. Which is right here, which is one of the main resources we need for building gear. So that's good. That puts us at 3. And then if we were denounced with the current faction whose territory we're in, then this would happen, but we're not. We are actually almost friendly with the Minoans, but not quite. But we have not been denounced by them. So that one's good. And now here, Minoan fleet. Resolve an effect based on your diplomacy with the Minoans. So we're currently neutral. Each Argonaut gains +1 danger. Well, that sucks. We're only 1 below friendly. And if the Argonaut was at 7+ on its fate track, or on its fate count, then we would gain 1 despair token, but fortunately that's not the case. So we do each get 1 danger, which is right here. So I'll just do it once here, but then each Argonaut, I believe, does it say each? Yeah, each Argonaut gets that. And that will stick with them into the next battle. And then you can see this actually is removed from the deck until the next timeline battle. So we can't draw that again until after the next timeline battle. So 2 monument resources. So that puts us at 4. Let's see. We're not denounced, so we're good. So now let's see what's going on with this adversary. Okay, good news. Good news. As it turns out, we have not had an adversary introduced in our story yet, in this cycle yet, so we don't do anything. We ignore that symbol. All right, so next will be the exposition step, but there's no adventure symbol here, so we don't have to worry about that. Then is the encounter step, which is when you resolve any battles that you have to deal with. The advancement step is next, so this is where we can research technology breakthroughs. In this case, as I showed you before, it's a battle technology. So currently, the only 2 technologies we have in here are arrow barrage, combat technologies in our tech deck is arrow barrage and siren armor. So, yeah, we meet that requirement. We have that and that. So both we could research either one of these because we've already researched the requirements. So let's see. With Arrow Barrage, this is an Argo, but we don't have any Argo abilities yet. So ability, place 1 break token or 2 opening tokens in the Kratos pool. We could do it 3 times. Siren Armor, we can build the Siren Shield, Siren Panoply Armor, which we have some of that already, right? Oh yeah, we'd be able to actually build this, so that's cool. Or Ancient Siren Panoply Armor. Now, see, some of this stuff is going to be expensive. We can barely build the stuff we have already. We don't have any Argo abilities, so I think we're going to research Arrow Barrage. Reinforced spear and arrow tips, as well as synchronicity training, allows ship-stationed warriors to slightly weaken the AT field of a primordial. So let's see, it's going to lead to crisis protocol and basic support equipment. So let's find those real quick. All right, so there's crisis protocol. It's a combat tech. We add that to our deck, and basic support equipment. There we go. Add that to the deck. All right, and this we'll put over with our technologies. Now, this city, by the way, pretty sure the only way I can interact with it is if I have abilities or technology that lets me to. For instance, if I research, this is a structural, not a combat. If I were to research this, though, trading solutions, then you see I can come down here and trade with cities. Negotiation, gain +1 fate to exchange up to 3 times any of this stuff here. So I don't believe there's anything I can really do with that city as it stands. So then we have the story step, and nothing triggers so far in that. And then the doom step, and that doesn't trigger, though it's getting close. And by the way, with our story right now, which is called the Absent Rule, we have 1 progress token. We need 4 more to advance that. And then the end step, this tile is now considered explored. Explored tiles, by the way, mean that any positive things that happen there can't happen again, but the negative things, such as that Doom token, still can. But that's the end of that round, and so now we go back to the top. So movement step, like I said, I wanted to circle the island here, so we are going to go to 28. Oh, good. Here we go. We got a progress token here, so that's good. So pop up here. Oh, no, that's interesting. That symbol is not... See, the bull means that we're in the Minoan territory. That symbol is the Labyrinthians. So, and we currently are almost unfriendly with them. But they're not the Hornsworn, at least, because we are unfriendly with the Hornsworn. Oh, and so now this is the most recently visited city. All right, we mark right here. So no advancement. No tech advancement this round. So now the exploration step. So by the way, these 2 do get shuffled back into the deck. I should have done that before. But so they get shuffled in, but remember the one gets left out, the Minoan fleet card that gets left out until after I have another battle. All right, so let's see. So that's 1 stack because it has the end stack symbol there. Oh, we're going to... another Hornsworn fleet. Oh, no. And Trireme Wreck. All right, so Smithy. Gain 1 armament resource. And then if we were friendly, but again, we're not. We are neutral. All right, so just 1 armament resource. So that puts us at 2. All right, Hornsworn fleet, resolve an effect based on your diplomacy. And what I just get finished talking about, we are unfriendly with the Hornsworn. So we gain 1, so the Argo gains 1 fate. And when we say we're gaining fate, we're basically tempting fate. And so, as you might expect in Greek mythology, not a great thing to tempt fate. But this will be removed until the next timeline battle. But that puts... Fortunately, that is the first fate for the Argo. So there we go, 1 out of 9. And then Trireme Wreck, we get 2 trireme resources. Fantastic. I might actually want to look and see if we can build something this advancement step. So we are at 5. All right, so again, there's no adventure here. Oh, wait. Oh, we forgot the positive symbols. I read right past that. I read exploration, just went straight down here to resolve exploration draw. So we do get a progress token. Sorry, that should have happened before. So if I put this on my Inward Odyssey card, then that would trigger, and we could do that. But I only have one so far. Let me show you this. So here is the absent rule. You can read that if you want to, but again, right here, to progress the story, you must gather progress. We only have 1. When we get to 6 or more, I think I said 5 before, so when we get to 6 or more, we flip the card to side 1B. All right, so now the encounter step, nothing happens. The advancement step, so again, research technologies, but we can also build gear. Let's see if there's anything worth building. Okay, yeah, so we don't have any ranged weapons at all. So the ballistic gun would be great, but we don't have the fleshy mantle. So instead we're going to do the petrified javelin, 3 trireme and 5 raw ambrosia. And this, we roll 2 dice to hit, plus 1 for precision. And then we'd roll 1 red power die for each hit. 2 to 4 range, it's cumbersome. That means that when I use it, I then have to exhaust it, and then I can use either my combat action or my movement to unexhaust it after that. I'm going to give it to Olympia, who pilots Philo, because they only have the Shipwrecker Shield currently. So that's going to leave me with 2 trireme, and 4 raw ambrosia left. And I think that's all I'm going to build for now. All right, so then we've got the story step. There's nothing there for us. Okay. Doom step, still good there. And end step. Okay. So now we move again, and we don't want to come back down here because of the doom. So we're going to go to 29. So we're going to have our first adventure here. We move on to here. So now we are in the territory of the Labyrinthians. And you can see that right there is an adventure icon. So here we go. Let's see. So movement step, got that. Timeline step. This is year 4, or not year. I'm so used to Kingdom of Death. Round 4. So we're going to research a structural technology. So exploration, no positive or negative symbols here. So we got to draw from the exploration deck. Abandoned Shrine, that's 1 stack. Smithy is the other stack. So we're going to gain 1 monument, and that's it. And at the smithy, we'll gain 1 armament. So we're at 5 monuments now, and 3 armaments. All right, so here we go. We got to resolve a adventure. All right, so we need to roll a d10. We are in story 1A right now. Roll a d10. We got a 9. So now we come to our Truth of the Labyrinth Cycle 1 book. All right, so story 1, 7 through 9, hidden in plain sight, and that also means that in our battle, when we get to the actual battle here in a little bit, we'll have Minos Manos unit outer 3 as battle terrain on the field of battle. But for now, hidden in plain sight. We also need to look here, and we see for hidden in plain sight, right here, we have not done any of this adventure yet, so we will mark the alpha box. And we come here. Alpha shows we go to Theseus's light. All right. As you search the coast for clues, you can't help but get the feeling that the people are a lot less distraught at the disappearance of their king than expected. On the other hand, many hold fond memories worn by time of the rogue Theseus who once challenged the Cretan status quo and slew the Minotaur. As you listen to the testaments of his exploits on the island, you start to admire the man, driven and single-minded. He rallied the disparate detractors of Minos and for a brief moment steered the fate of Crete. Conviction and purpose are what you and your crew struggle with. Stories at the end of the war are harder to come by. Stories of the end of the war are harder to come by, so you are left to wonder why his dream ultimately faltered, though many believe he was betrayed on the eve of victory. These are but stories of a time past. Your interest lies in what endures of Theseus's legacy. It is said that in the early days of the war, when his forces were outnumbered, he created a network of hidden safe houses and supply caches so that his followers could move around the island more freely and find safe havens even in hostile territory. Some of those hideouts have never been discovered, but you just found clues that may lead you to one. In the early hours of the morning, you send an away team to a mist-shrouded quay. Following the information, you locate a sea cave entrance hidden cleverly with a forced perspective trick. As you enter, darkness engulfs you. You navigate carefully, feeling your way with oars. The cave curves to the south and slowly opens up into an underground lake. Light seeps inside through crevices and in the stone ceiling. Then you notice the wooden pier built into the side of the cave and the men who await you there. You hear a familiar sound of bowstrings tightening. I would advise you to never come here, says a scarred woman commanding the archers, but it is clearly too late for that. Wouldn't you say? All right, so now we choose. All right, so I've read through these, and neither of these are particularly great tests for me. We're going to test wisdom, though, because out of the two, that's the better option for us. So we're going with out with it. You are clearly outnumbered and outmatched, and a boat isn't exactly a defensible position. It's better to reveal your true intentions and hope these people can be reasoned with, especially since they may have observed the Argo's arrival. The city ship isn't exactly inconspicuous. So we're going to gain a stranger, which is up here. Then we have to do a wisdom 10 check. We got a 6. Okay, so each of my Argonauts can then gain 1 danger to add 1. The failure is that we lose 1 diplomacy with the Horn Sworn. We're already unfriendly with them. We'll just be a little bit more unfriendly. I think that's the best bet. I can't take too much danger going into this battle against a monster I haven't fought before. So, though they appreciate your honesty, your allegiance leaves them cold. All right, and so regardless, see 0001. Is that so? Says the scarred woman, gesturing for you to disembark. You Argonauts sure know how to make a grand entrance. That ship of yours certainly leaves an impression. Where did you get it? As you step onto the pier, warriors surround you and confiscate your weapons. There's no reason to resist, yet. Flea market in Athens. So bold. Very well, keep your secrets. The woman turns away from you and walks toward a tunnel chiseled in the rocky wall of the underground basin. The warriors encourage you to follow. Besides, she adds absentmindedly, nobody goes to Athens anymore. You are led through an underground network of tunnels, clearly man-made, though crudely so. You pass several dugout alcoves serving as prison cells. From behind the bars, sunken eyes of famished men and women in torn, horned guard uniforms follow you every move. You pass through a tunnel that's visibly older than the rest, where you notice a set of barely legible glyphs carved in the wall. Okay. So this looks like a puzzle, actually. That equals 7. Okay. After some time, you enter a large cavern where a shattered fragment of a trireme's hull has been laid onto several rocks to make a makeshift table. A large man with a bushy beard leans over it, and intense thirst reflected in his deep-set eyes. They come from the iron ship, says the scarred woman. The man takes a long, hard look at you. You're not Simoki, but you're foreigners. Just as well, I am Pirithous the Hand. Why are you sniffing around my neck of the woods? You go for the least obliging answer. Information. Information? I am also looking for information. A Minoan ship is coming this way in a few hours, bringing envoys to Gnosis. They possess answers I seek. Your ship will all but assure its capture. Help me, and I will share with you what I know. We are not pirates. And neither am I, yells Pirithous abruptly. I stood with Theseus when he entered the labyrinth. He was noble and just and would have brought prosperity to Crete, and those curs murdered him. They will return his bones to us with or without your help. He pauses and collects himself. I know more about you than you think. If not for information or honor, maybe you'll do it for a more tangible prize. We've seen one of the mindless giants, those creatures you parade on the deck of your ship, trapped in a grotto not far from here. If you help us, we'll tell you where to find him. All right, so I think the way I'm going to play this is I'm going to try to, I'm going to try to stick to my word as often as possible for this first time I play the cycle. So we're going to go with, you may struggle to glean your purpose in this world, but you know this, you are not hired thugs. You refuse to help. So you need to mark B1. We know not of what transpired on your island, nor do we want to take sides. We only... Yes, Pirithous snaps at you angrily. By all means, stand idly by while the dynasty crushes the people under its bronze heel and see how the dice fall. You think you are wise, but you are cowards. Look at your mighty ship and then do nothing. This impotence will be the end of you. Surprisingly, Pirithous lets you leave, showing that maybe he's more than a common bandit. Hornsworn diplomacy -1. Minoan diplomacy +1. All right, hold on. All right, so Hornsworn -1. But then Minoan, we are now friendly with the Minoans, so that's good. Party leader gains 1 despair token, and then gain 1 Argo Fate and another stranger. The least likely Argonaut gains the Dream You Hold Nemos card. Okay, so let's go through that one at a time. All right, so my party leader is always Herodotus when I'm able to choose. And so there's the despair token, and that having 1 despair token means that he has -1 precision now, so not great. The Argo is now at 2 fate and 2 strangers. The least likely Argonaut is the one that does not have any Nemos cards yet, which will be Philo. And here is what she gets. A dream you hold. You are not some castaway on life's tumultuous ocean. Come hell or high water, you will fulfill your dream. And so the way this works is Dream, Voyage, and Fate are the different titles or keywords there that we need to look for. And when we complete a story that has one of those, or an adventure that has one of those, then we will mark off a node on here. And sorry, it doesn't go to the Titan. It goes to Olympia. Olympia is the one. This is associated with the Argonaut, not with the Titan. So we'll write it in here. And then once 3 nodes are completed, then we will go to M001. Which, and so currently at level 1, Titans adjacent to me have +1 precision. Very cool. And as we unlock, when we hit that, then we'll unlock level 2 and on down as it gets better and better. Okay, so that's the end of that one. So that was the expedition step. Moving on to the encounter step, nothing doing there. So the advancement step, we do have some tech we can research. So this one, is this worth it? It adds that Theban Trader Exploration card to the Exploration deck. I'm interested in what that is. The other possibilities are Minoan Investigations. You may reroll Adventure Hub table roll once. Okay. Anti-indoctrination philosophy. Gain +1 fate to test diplomacy 7. Success. chosen Argonaut discards a despair token. That's interesting. Maze Exorcism lose. -1 priest to make one Argonaut lose the Maze touched affliction. I don't even know anything about my priest right now, so that's probably not useful to me as of yet. Titan hunting. Immediate, add the Untamed Titan exploration card to the exploration deck, and then expedition, gain +1 fate when the Argo is on a map tile with a Titan Titan symbol to test diplomacy 7+. Success, gain +1 Titan. Okay, so because I saw how quickly we can run out of Titans, I'm going to do Titan hunting. There's only a handful of Titans on board the Argo. If we are meant to survive, we need to procure more. Only philosophers are able to subdue wild Titans and bring them to the Argo, but they refuse to share their secrets. Leads to Titan rearing. All right, there's Titan rearing, and that's the end of that tech tree. A set of rules and practices that will allow us to house more Titans effectively. I don't think I'm going to build anything else right now. Yeah, I'm not going to build anything else. So that's the advancement step. Story step, nothing there. Doom step, same. End step. All right, and so now movement step again. We'll just come down here. 34. Okay. All right. Back in Minoan territory. That's a Titan. That's a Titan there. Progress. This is good. This is a good tile. All right. So we'll mark here. So we will get to research combat tech. Resolve the exploration symbol. So we just automatically gain that Titan. The question is, do we do Titan hunting as well? Argo has 2 fate already. And we have to do a diplomacy 7 check, but we're in Minoan territory, so it would be, it's +4. No, I'm sorry, +1. That's the check modifier. So +1, so we'd need to roll a 6. I don't think we're that desperate. I mean, actually, a TPK would put me with less than 4 Titans. So we are going to try this. All right. So we gain 1 fate. That puts us at 3 fate. And then we need to roll. So we need to roll a 6. Yes, got it. That's a 10. All right, so we got 2 Titans, so we are at 8. And we get a progress token. And you know what? I'm going to put it on Inward Odyssey. So when there are 2 tokens on this card, discard them and gain 1 research, I think is what that means. When you reach a given level during the story step, after all those story events, resolve the corresponding Inward Odyssey. So we'll do Fos Dance. I'm just going to leave this here so we remember. Make sure there's nothing else on here, right? Yep. Okay. We've got to do an exploration draw. Oh, wait. Weren't we supposed to... Yes, we can't forget that. We need to add the Untamed Titan exploration card. All right, so cool. So if we draw this, we'll get an additional Titan, and since we're in friendly territory, chosen Argonaut gains +1 rage, which is very useful in combat. All right, so let's cut it a couple times. Okay, here we go. So first stack, trade post. That's 1 stack there. Second stack, smithy. That's it for that one. Okay. All right, so trade post, gain 1 trireme. We are in friendly territory, so we will actually get 2 trireme. And smithy will gain 2 armament. So 2 trireme, 2 armament. So that'll put us at 5 armament, and 4 trireme. All right, expedition step, nothing there. Encounter step, nothing there. Advancement step, so we can get a combat tech, right? Yep. So we've got basic support equipment. Okay. Siren armor, we've seen that. Crisis protocol, another Argo ability. Choose a Titan. That Titan may gain or lose to danger. Oh, wow. Okay. And I believe I can have 2 active Argo abilities. You may use as many Argo ability cards as your Argo ability limit allows. Oh, and that's 2. Okay, so yeah, so we can have 2 right now. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take Crisis Protocol because the danger is essentially the health, basically. It determines how badly the trauma is going to hit us. So we are definitely doing this. The Fallen Priest have uncovered a surprising Gaia connection. Through the Triskelion Junction, we may be able to stimulate some form of spontaneous healing. A new philosophical protocol allows us to tap into the lingering life force of Gaia and redirect it to or from a Titan. We need to add Labyrinthorus Sighting. All right, there's Labyrinthorus Sighting. All right, so I'm not gonna build anything. Story step. Okay, here is where we're going to do our Inward Odyssey. We're doing Faux Dance, so these go away. The Argo is abuzz with rumors about the latest Last Academy discovery. Not everyone was on board with the establishment of the Scholar Collective. There were fears they would hoard knowledge, use it to gain more power and control. So far, these fears seem to have been unfounded. Socrates and his war philosophers have been working closely with the Argo works on improving the Anti-Kratos helms and their Triskelion connection, while inquisitive scholars have been poring over the last tome, trying to master its fulgent, ephemeral script. They started to call this ability the Faux Dance, though it is the letters, not the reader, that move. And on those endless pages, they have found something, mentions of the fabled Centimanes, the many-handed giants who once ruled Crete. Though information is scarce or inaccessible, what is there paints a picture of a mighty civilization of builders and architects, and curiously shepherds. Secondary and tertiary sources chart their rise and expansion and then simply stop, as if the Centimanes suddenly cease to exist. There is mention of the Centimane glyphs you've been seeing around the island, but there is no translation. However, a young, promising scholar by the name of Palamedes is sure he has deciphered a piece of the puzzle. This glyph found on the Centimane's stone, a broken steel kept in the Last Academy, means 1. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to go make sure we copy down that other one that we were looking at before. That meant 7. Gain the Archaeolinguistics Technology card, Secret Deck 1, card 1. Cool. All right, Archaeolinguistics, structural. These symbols are not merely decorative. Requirements, there we go, got that. Doesn't lead to anything. Centimane's glyphs, voyage. It is a language long forgotten. With time, we may learn to decipher it. Permanent, that's 1. During our voyages, you will encounter other glyphs that will help you decode the Centimane scripts, sequences of glyphs, and find the secret Centimane's paragraphs in the main story. These will be denoted by a thumbs up at the beginning of the paragraph. If the paragraph doesn't show the symbol, you must have made a mistake in your decoding. Don't read it. If that's the case, gain 1 fate. Oh, wow. 1 Argo fate. Doom step, good there. End step, all right. We head to the Hornsworn, or this way into the Labyrinthians. Let's just keep going along the coast. 35. Oh, no. Doom. Not good. All right, let's mark the timeline. We're going to have a special event this time. All right, expiration step, resolve expiration symbols. So we've got a doom token. So we are at 5 doom now. So that's going to resolve. Let's draw. That's 1 stack and 2 stacks. So we're going to get. We're not denounced, are we? I don't believe so. No. Just unfriendly. So we get 4 trireme resources, which means we have 8 now. All right, and then we've got an adventure there. We rolled a 6. So this time we're still in story 1. So plight of the people, and there will be a giant shell in the battle. And this is our first plight of the people. And we're in labyrinthian territory. I don't know if that's going to matter or not. All right, plight of the people. The catch. Oh. By the way, what did we do last time? Hidden in plain sight. Theseus's light, fate. So Telebacus has Minoan heritage that has the fate keyword. So that was 1 node for him. And Olympia has a dream you hold, which also has the fate keyword. So that was a node. All right, now plight of the people. The catch has heritage, and that's also 1 for Telebacus's Minoan heritage. And yeah, he's the only one that gets something for that. Okay. You come upon a remote fishing village. Fortunate for you've been running low on supplies. You send a small party to scout ahead, no reason to make the locals anxious. As you make sure, you begin to notice the eerie absence of sound, smells, and movement. No one comes to greet you. There are no signs of struggle or bloodshed. It is as if everyone just got up and left. There is something in the village green, though. Someone has arranged stones and fishing equipment in a strange pattern. On the ground, like a whirlpool or an octopus, but with straight lines almost unnaturally precise. A sense of abandonment permeates the village. There is history written in the buildings, crude but sturdy once, withered by time and periodically renovated, but each time made a little lesser for it, as if decay overtook progress or despair overtook hope. So we have to choose. I don't want to go up to 4 fate. 4 Argo fate. We're already at 3. If we hit 10, we're gonna go. No one is left to claim the supplies, and with your growing crew, you need all the resources you can get. You order your crew members to take the supplies and leave. So we get diplomacy -1 for the Labyrinthians, which means they are now unfriendly towards us. And we go to 23. Your crew moves swiftly, and before the day's end, you're ready to leave the forsaken place. As you take one last look at the village, you're left with a strange feeling of longing. People used to live here, work here, play here, love here. Now it's all gone, and soon any trace of their ever being here will be gone. So Labyrinthians, diplomacy -1. All right, here, let's put this down so we can do all this. So we lose another 1 for the Labyrinthians, so we're at -2 now. 5 trireme resources, so that puts us at 13. A random Argonaut feels like they're being watched. Ugh. 9 and 10 don't mean anything because there's only 4 Argonauts. Ah, Jesus. I've never rolled that good. Okay, 8. So it's going to be Telebacus. So I put watched here. They gain 2 fate. Mark H10. All right, the least likely survivor, the least likely Argonaut is going to be Penelope because she only has one Nemos card, which is a tie with two others, but she has the least nodes. She has no nodes marked, so she's going to gain someone waiting. You can't quite put a finger on it, but there's a soft pull on your soul strength each time you look to the north. All right, so level 1, if we tap this, stand up, you can use this ability while knocked down, because normally you can't use any abilities while knocked down. And M005. Okay, and then it says if we have the Minoan Guide, which we do from before the video, C0009. These fishermen served my father, says the Minoan princess. It does not seem they prospered under his rule. It's been hard on them the last few years. War with Theseus, the fall of heaven. Minos had a need and they acquiesced to the rising demands of the state. One of the Argonauts looks to the empty village and says, it seems someone made them a better offer. The princess looks at them with scorn. Gain 1 progress. We will put that on our story. So now we have 3 progress tokens there. If you want to press the issue, party leader gains +2 danger. Party leader is at 1 danger already. Yeah, let's do it. Let's. Oh man, I'm a sucker for story stuff. All right, so C019. Is there something wrong, princess? She looks directly at you. As a matter of fact, yes, there is. You think I approve of Minos' harsh methods? That I agree with my sisters on everything? I would have gladly renounced my station if it would have made any difference for the people here, but it wouldn't. Have you stood up to Minos and your sisters then? Caicolus looks as if she wants to say something, but then slowly lowers her head, making a Caicolus tally mark and then return to the adventure. So we don't really know what these tally marks are for, but that is our second tally mark. Now we have the advancement step. Oh, but there's nothing, no technology to advance, and we're not going to build anything. So story step, that's good to go. So now the doom step. When there are 5 or more doom tokens on this card, flip it to side 1B. Shape of Things to Come. What was this one called? Yeah, Shape of Things to Come. Okay. As you familiarize yourself with the island and its people, you start to understand why the daughters of Minos want their father back. Their rule is crumbling. Minos held power with fear and ruthlessness, his empire a well-oiled machine of tyranny. Now that machine has ground to a halt. The Horned Guard fails to quiet the dissent from the old compatriots of Theseus, the Hornsworn, the Hornsworn, while more and more flock to the maze cult's alluring promise, salvation for all. In this tumultuous time, a lowly beggar known only as the Punished begins to accumulate influence. Rules. If J1 is marked, it is not. If the old spinner is with you, see that. She's not. Place Labyrinthian Temple marker on the closest unoccupied city. There is no... wait, I can't remember if that token counts. Hold on. Okay, so the last city visited token doesn't count, so we place that on that city. Treat Labyrinthian Temple markers as Doom map symbols. You cannot use negotiation abilities on a city covered by a Labyrinthian Temple marker. Shuffle the Hecatrap exploration card in the exploration deck. All right, Hecatrap. At the end of this exploration step, resolve an ambush battle. Cycle 1 storybook, page 112. Ooh, okay. Random Argonaut gains 1 despair token. 7, so that's going to be Telebacus. When there are 6 or more Doom tokens on this card, see 0004, set excess tokens aside, and then when the next Doom card is revealed, place them on that Doom card. Oh boy. All right. Okay, and now here we go. with our last move before we encounter... Oh, wait. Oh. Did I do that? No, I did that. Yeah. All right, here we go with our last movement before we encounter the Labyrinthosaurus. At this point, I don't want anything too terrible to happen, so we're going to go into friendly territory to 71. I know that we're trying to find the missing king, but just because we're about to fight, we're going to go this way. All right, we've got a city. Okay. So nothing really crazy is going to happen here. So we moved. We do get to do one more. No, the advancement happens after the battle, so that we won't get the advancement before the battle. We do get one exploration draw. Oh, for the love of God, don't be that Hecatrap. Weapons cache. Trireme wreck. So 2 armament and 2 trireme resources. We're at 15 trireme and 7 armament. And then that's it. Next up is... Oh, you can't even see. I'm so sorry, y'all. Here is what you're missing there. All right, so there was nothing on here. We're in Minoan territory, and there's a city. All right, so, and then now we would fight the Labyrinthosaurus. The next video I'll make will be a Labyrinthosaurus fight. I don't know if I will wait. I don't know if I will film this particular fight just because I don't know when my next chance to film will be, and I don't want to wait to play. So, but that means that what would happen is you would get to see a level. Let's see, I'm fighting a level 1 now. And then the next fight will be either a level 1 Hecaton or Labyrinthosaurus. And then we have level 2 available for each of them. So I might try to make it to the level 2 and show you what a level 2 fight looks like. We'll see. We'll just kind of see how my filming schedule works out. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. This game is so much fun so far. Be sure to check out other videos coming up. We've got a instructional series coming up for this game, so there may have been some rules errors tonight that you may have seen, but the instructional series will go into detail on all the rules. It's going to be 5 videos long, I believe. We'll just kind of see how the rule book breaks up. We've got videos coming up for Keystone North America, for Frosthaven, for 1565, for Wingspan Asia. So be sure to check all that coming up. And until next time, for Board Online, Board Offline.